So you're probably wondering with the title of this video, what is a leader's book? We're gonna get straight into why you need a leader's book and why it's important as an officer and it's just as an NCO, just any type of leader in this world. Finally back to making videos, and for today's video we're going to be going over what is a leader's book, right? And for the next video we'll be talking about my green cycle training binder, and what I put in here when it comes to calendars and all that stuff, right? Okay, so as a senior leader, it's important that you have a leader's book, some kind of book that you can take to the field. You're not afraid for it to get thrown on the ground, to get all that dust and everything in it and on it and rain. So my platoon sergeant, my battle buddy, he's the first person that showed me his leader book and what's important and what needs to be in there, right? So whenever you open my leader's book, you see in there it says Second Lieutenant West, leader's book, and it has our mascot, right? Honey badgers, be savage, stay hungry. And the more that you go into that book, into the actual book, I have the index in there, and then also I have the 94th MP Battalion mission and history and why that's important. Now getting on to like what really is important in here is, I already have a cutout right here. We have the alert roster, which breaks down 1st, 2nd, and 3rd squad and has the platoon leader and the platoon sergeant up here. So basically, after they're broken down into squads, they're broken down to their team level, and on here it has their position. So if they're a driver, if they're a team leader, if they're a gunner, and it also has their building number and their room number and their phone number and when they're leaving Korea. Why is this important as a leader? So there's many times in your life in the Army when you're a senior leader and a soldier is going to do something and you're going to be called in and you're going to have to go in on your weekend. You're going to have to send up a 5 W's, who, what, when, where, and why, and what did that soldier do, why were they there. Basically, this gives eyes on to all the leaders above you. So having the alert roster is very important. That way you know how to contact that soldier just like that. You know exactly where they live. And this goes down even to whenever a soldier's having a problem in life or you need to find them. You know exactly where your soldiers are. Because as a leader, you are in charge of your soldiers. They are part of you. They are your family. At the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, it's going to be on you. So after the alert roster, in here I have the monthly maintenance schedule. And this is what our company commander came up with along with the XO and some other individuals. On basically week 1 all the way through week 4 on the calendar, we have it broken down where we have special emphasized maintenance schedules, right? So week 1, we're going to PMCS. We're going to actually check our vehicles and everything. So all the way from the Humvees to the MATVs. And then Monday on week 1, we're going to focus on crows. So to show you guys a little bit of what that looks like, it's broken down based on the weeks. Week 2, we focus on FM radios. Week 3, we focus on individual weapons and actually cleaning them. That way we can get through all the quarterly and all the different inspections that are going to be based on our equipment. So we just knock that out every single month. Next on the list for the leader's book is we have our combat power. Now this is where my platoon sergeant, he focuses a little bit on this, and it's broken down into the same thing as squads again. And here's a little bit of what it looks like. You have the actual truck, and then you have the individual soldiers on there. So at the top it says we have 71 soldiers assigned, and basically they're in the training meeting. This is when my platoon sergeant goes into depth, like, sir, first sergeant, this is what our combat power is looking like right now. This vehicle's down because of this. This trailer is down because of this. This ASIP or this blah 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 is down because of this. And then we have the maintenance sergeant in there and the commo NCOIC, and that's when basically it gives that picture to the command team on how we're looking when it comes to combat, right? So that's why it's very important to have this in your leader's binder, so you know exactly what soldier's supposed to be in that truck. And let's say, God forbid, let's say you're going into a training scenario and you want to know what truck did not come back, or if a truck is in the water, you want to know what equipment is in that truck. That's why we have what serial numbers for that FM radios, for that JCR CPU. That way you know where it is and what equipment was lost. And the same thing goes for soldiers. If that truck goes down range and it's lost or it's hit, you know exactly what service members are in that truck. It's just very important in managing personnel, right? The next thing, I don't know why I closed the binder. Next thing we have in here is the PRT calendar. This is very important because when you go to PT, the commander, the first sergeant, they're going to want to know what you're doing, and they're going to ask you and your leaders, your NCOs, hey, what are we doing for PT today? Very important you stick to the PT schedule. Why? It gives the soldiers predictability. For the soldiers that love the gym, let's say I want to go do leg day and destroy my fucking legs with the weights on Monday, and Tuesday it was supposed to be a muscle endurance day, but now it's a 5-mile run. You see what I'm saying? This is why having a PRT calendar is important and sticking to it. Because I know, for me at least, I get mad when I'm like, I thought today was not a run day. Now it's a run day. Alright, so next, we have the DA6. This is very important as an MP, especially when you're working the road, because you know exactly what soldiers wear on their shift, right? So if I'm like, hey, I need Specialist Morris to come in. Oh wait, no, they just got off a shift 2 hours ago. They're sleeping. I'm not trying to mess with their schedule as much as possible, right? As little as possible. We're not trying to mess with their sleep schedule. So DA6, very important. You know where people are. You know if they're supposed to be at the range or if they're supposed to be working swings, days, or whatever shift they're on. It just lets you know where they're supposed to be at. Next thing on here I have is the mall, the company mall. This way I know what weapon systems the soldiers are supposed to have. I have their serial number breakdown. That's pretty much cut and dry, right? So it has their D-Rose on here. It has their M9 or whatever weapon system they have. It tells me how many weapons I'm assigned for the platoon and how many personnel I'm assigned. This is very, very important whenever you're going to the field as a platoon leader. Alright, next on here I have the incident reports, SIRs, situational reports, and everything. Basically, because things are going to happen. People are people, humans are humans, soldiers are soldiers. So they're going to do things they're not supposed to do, just like anyone in life. And basically this breaks down, if a soldier does this, who do I need to report it to? Do I need to send up an SIR, just a CCIR? And it breaks down all that stuff. And actually on here, it has the battalion command team matrix in terms of it has the battalion's notification matrix. There we go. So it has the battalion commander's phone number, the CSM's phone number, the battalion XO, the S3, all their information, just in case you can't reach someone. It even goes over the 5W format and basically what you need to put there, right? Next, in here I have some of the articles for UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice, just because I'm an MP. So I listed out on here the articles. Some of the ones that are more prominent, just so if I have to be an IO, investigating officer, I have some of those articles on hand, right? And then we get into my actual calendar. Well, not the calendar. Now, going back into the leader's book, some of the less, I don't want to say less important, but not that big. Going back into the binder, I have the 55th MP company, so my company's mission and history, and basically when we were activated, what campaigns we've served in, our decorations, because I think that that's very important that you should have in your leader's book. And the last thing I have in here is I have the 8-step training model. This way, in case I have any questions when I'm trying to plan training, just anything, I have it all listed out right here for the 8-step training model. And then lastly, the really big thing in here is I have the military police regimental march, our song. So whatever MOS, whatever branch you're in, it's important that something that shows what your MOS is about. If that's the infantryman's creed, the infantryman's song, just soldier's creed, I would put that in here. So for the leader's book, also I'm supposed to have a notebook in here. I don't know where my notebook is. We just blank. Just like a blank notebook, that way you can now actually write notes. I need to put a new one in here. But the senior leader's book, the main reason why it's important, the takeaways I want you guys to take away from this video is, for a leader's book, you want to make sure you have personnel stats in there, showing everyone that's in your platoon and your company, their names, their phone numbers, what buildings they live in, when they're supposed to leave that duty station. Having a mall, a weapons mall, that way you know what weapons they're assigned. So if there's any discrepancies when it comes to the arms room, you know exactly what weapon that is. Make sure people actually have the weapon they're assigned. And having a matrix breakdown of what incident reports you need to actually report to who. Is this only for the commander's level? Is this going to go all the way up to, I don't know, a general level? And then just having a notebook. So, leader's book, very important. Start working on this before you get to your unit. It will definitely show that you care about yourself, your platoon. And when I say yourself, I'm talking about taking care of yourself and make sure you can be the best person you can be. And I think it's very important when it comes to being a leader. With that being said, you guys have any questions, any comments, any advice, or just anything at all, hit me up in the comment section below. Follow me on social media. I'm loving Korea. I've been here for 10 months and just the Army just keeps on amazing me on the days I have my highs and I have my lows. That being said, smile. Everything's going to be all right in life. If you're not feeling that happy, talk to someone about it, because it's very important that you talk about your feelings with people. That being said, I'm out.